Oh hi, just thought I'd drop by. Zipcaster is pretty nuts. You can climb walls you're not supposed to, dash towards backlines, and it really makes you feel like Spider-Man. On the flip side though, it only lasts a very short time and is susceptible to getting shot out of the sky, so it can be rather tricky to use. I'm going to give you some tips on how to use Zipcaster to attack. Let's talk about the weapons Zipcaster is on. Octobrush, Carbon, Luna Blaster, and Splatana Stamper as of this video. All weapons that can be devastating at close range. Zipcaster can allow them to close the gap and do some damage. On the other hand, 3 of these weapons have no options to hit targets they're far away from. So if you zipcast and aren't immediately next to someone, you're likely to get targeted and end up dying. Because of this, you want to make your Zipcaster spots count, get close to priority targets, or get into places where they have no way to avoid you. Before we talk about how to make the most of Zipcast, we need to learn how to stay alive while using it. Zipcaster only travels in a straight line, but if you zip straight towards someone who's looking at you, chances are you're going to get shot. Try zipping in areas that aren't right in the middle of the action, and instead more towards the sides. You really want to hide your Zipcaster from the most dangerous weapons, which are probably chargers, blasters, and weapons like Nautilus with high bullet velocity. The less time the zip is visible to them, the better. Try thinking about spots where threatening weapons like chargers are usually set up, and give yourself a path that avoids their range for as long as possible. Take a look at this path on Mincemeat Splat zones. Chargers, Splatlings, and Tri-Stringer love to sit in that window there, but by clinging to this spot, you can sit just out of their range and bait a shot. If they miss it or aim elsewhere, you have time to zip in and finish them off. You can go up here for Eeltail to sit so tantalizingly just out of their range. In general, it's a good idea to zip when enemies are preoccupied with teammates. Zipcaster can be used a whole bunch of different ways, but I think the most important thing is to catch people off guard with it. The first way to use it is to zip straight towards someone, especially someone sitting on the high ground. If they aren't looking your direction, you can get in and finish them off before they have the chance to react. But be careful, because if they're watching you, them holding the trigger might just be enough to take you out. This works best if they can't back up from their position and have to move towards the action to avoid you. Zipcaster's arm actually has a width to it, so sometimes it doesn't latch on where you expect. Often, if you aim downwards with it, you'll hit the ground way short of where you meant to be. It does have the same range as Eeltail though, so you should be able to go almost anywhere you like. Zipcaster actually deals damage when you hit someone with it, up to 60 from an indirect and 95 from a direct hit. If someone's damaged or you have a way to deal chip damage, zipping straight at someone weak can finish them off. One way to force the opponent to not look at you is to zipcast behind them. If they have to do a 180 to hit you, you have a way higher shot of taking them out and living. This works especially well if you have teammates on the front side providing supporting fire. When you zipcast into a wall and jump, you can pop up onto a ledge and continue using your main weapon on solid ground. This can be a great strategy if you just want to get some vertical height, and can also be very surprising to the enemy if you start your zip from right below the ledge. They won't have time to shoot down your zipcast. The closer to the ledge you target, the higher in the air you'll pop, so be sure to aim a bit below that so you can have a smooth trip onto the ledge above. If you're an Octobrush or Splatana Stamper, you can often zipcast to a place where you can't immediately kill someone, but you can stall to help your teammates push the Rainmaker, Tower, or Power Clam. Octobrush can sit on high ground to rain down damage on teams, while Stamper can use charge slashes to space enemies out. You'll get value out of using the special like this, even without any kills. Some specials in this game lock you into a state where you can't use all of your tools. For example, in Triple Ink Strike, you can't swim, and in Booyah Bomb, you can't move or stop yourself from dropping down right below where you used it. If you time your zip right, you can get in while they're in lag or this low option state and take them out. Crab Tank is another example. It provides devastating fire from the front, but if you zipcast around them, you can hit the user from above or behind. Just be careful of them going into ball form. My favorite though has to be Ink Vac. Vacuums suck up all the ink the enemy shoots, but the user can't do anything but run, and they don't block melee damage. Splatana and Carbon have 1-hit melee kills on the ink vac, and Zipcaster can enable you to get close enough to use it. There's no rush with Zipcast. If someone's watching you, you can always cling to the wall and wait until you get support. Your meter goes down way less when you don't use your main weapon. You can zip to a wall, and instead of immediately popping over and attacking, wait. They might back up, anticipating you to attack, so by sitting there, you can push people back without moving and let your teammates punish that instead, and then help them out afterwards. Once you lock onto a wall by sending your arm at it, Zipcaster doesn't care about collision at all. This can end up looking really weird to enemies, as you might end up zipping straight through a wall. If you want to shock people by doing that, zipping while falling behind a surface can hide your Zipcast behind solid walls until you go straight through it. Special power-up increases the length of your Zipcast. I think some of it is worthwhile, probably up to a main ability if you want to be in there longer. But interestingly, I think Zipcast being short also makes it strong. You can cause damage and then get out before the situation gets too bad. Your ink meter controls your special gauge, so the more you swing, the faster you'll recall. If the situation's getting dicey, just use your weapon and you'll be out of there in a flash. Because Zipcaster uses your ink tank as its duration meter, Inksaver main also increases the length of your Zipcast, albeit by a little less than special power-up. It's also useful outside of Zipcast, so if you want a balance of abilities, this is a good one to have. Like Inkjet, Zipcaster leaves a landing marker that you recall to after your special ends. If you leave it in an open area, you'll end up getting camped and killed when you finish. The best idea here is to put it just out of easy line of sight of the enemy, and try putting it just below a ledge or behind a wall. Drop roller works on this recall in addition to your super jump, and can help you survive even if you're getting camped. I tend to prefer stealth jump for my regular super jumps, even though it doesn't work with Zipcaster. That's most of the tips I have for Zipcaster. Be sure to mix up how and when you use your special. Good players will see that your special meter is full, and expect you to zip straight at them as soon as you get it, so be patient, and try timing it with another teammate using a special or pushing in. Here's a quick montage of my favorite spots to use Zipcaster. There's a whole bunch of weird terrain you can grab onto with Zipcaster, and this only covers some of the most useful ones. Please enjoy. Thanks for watching. If you have a favorite spot to use Zipcaster, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like or subscribe.